Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Paul Blick in the building, and you see me playing some Sylvans versus the somewhat cute, but then somewhat asshole-ish Ritual Beast. Now, Ritual Beast is such a deadly deck because of the fact that you have a card called Seeds. If you go, I go Fusion, and Fusion again, and add a card, and add a card again, and add a Seed and a Ritual Beast ambush, you would generally lose. But that's something that a Ritual Beast player needs to do. But on the side effect is that Ritual Beasts have a terrible consistency problem. They're not very consistent. But when they do go off, it becomes a really tough match to fight. And also to and another side note, when you're playing Sylvans, I'm gonna let you guys know one thing. Make sure you click off auto chain order, because when you have this thing on, you don't have the ability to set your chain links for a Sylvan player. So understand that, because like what you saw right here when you saw me execute the Peacekeeper, I was like it happened to me in the middle of the match. I was like, why was I not able to set that chain link? So that's on a side note if you're playing Sylvans on Devpro. Now, if you're playing on DN, then you know you're generally the greatest. But you have to be very, very careful. Very careful, because of the fact that when you're playing Sylvans on DN, you know, these are the side effects. 1, your opponent may be butthurt. 2, your opponent may be butthurt. 3, your opponent may be butthurt and salty at the same damn time. So just worry about that. So another thing too, Sylvans, they're a very they're a control based deck when you get your combos going, because you can control your combos. Now when they get their boss monsters out on the field, generally can lead into a huge OTK. But with Miracle Fertilizer, you generally could shut out your opponent too as well. Because Miracle Fertilizer is your power spike card. That's a card that you want to go off with. Now you guys are probably wondering, why do you want the Star Eater over Leah? I don't know. All I did was put damage on board and just do things. So once I got in the field advantage after I blew his board, he just couldn't really do anything. That's fine. If you didn't see what I stacked the Soul Charge so I could use. So I have like a backup plan, because I knew Eston was gonna come sooner or later. So you gotta have your emergency provisions. Just be careful, because not so when you have a big ass Sylvan board and you don't have a Felgran on the board, you have to be careful of this card. Now let's go into game 2. Now, what did I decide? For not for Sylvan, it's for Ritual Beast. I decided double trap stun, because all they do is play trap, and you see he opened inconsistent again. Well, I didn't say he opened inconsistent again, but he opened really inconsistent. So now in my mindset, when I saw a back row, I was thinking either a bottomless or a warning. I was like, instantly I'm just get a Crit Mushroom just to blow up the back row, because if you guys have not noticed, if you guys should know by now, I do not like back row. I just don't. Like, if my opponent's field is clear and I have an OTK hand, I would generally love to end the duel. I would not care if I see a Gorse. So, and also to, if you haven't checked out, what's his name, Nim. When we did the top 10 on for his top 10, Sylvan was the 10th one. Well, no, what's his number 10? I don't remember. I'm so sorry. But Sylvan was on his top 10. I generally agree with Sylvan's being a top 10 deck when they snowball to a high point. And I kept the current mandate, but I think this was the Ritual Beast player's mistake. Why did you not just steed off the current mandate? You should have steed it off completely, because alright, know one thing. When you're playing against Sylvan and you see a card mandate, you want to pop that card. you generally want to, because 9 out of 10, your opponent, you will be plussing. You will be plussing with that card advantage with when you're playing Celtics. Just like with Shadows. They plus so hard with that card advantage. Oh my gosh. The fact that, if you escapade, I don't know, Shadow Dragon, a Falco, a Beast, and then Shadow Core, and a Shadow Fusion, and like maybe like a Spoiler Trap. That might have been 6 cards, but those are examples of cards that you want to hit when you're playing Shadows. And yes, I do not like Shadows, but I know how to play them because it just works naturally for me. Pretty weird, ain't it? Well, I wouldn't say it works naturally for me. I played against the deck so many times, so yeah, I would know how to fight against the deck. Now, getting back to the match. Ritual Beasts, they will become a threat when the set drops because they get an actual wolf bar. Because of Zephyra, or yeah, it's Zephyra. That's what I'm gonna call it, Zephyra. Now, oh, bonus game time. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Whoops. Now I had to fix that up. Now, I know you guys haven't seen this deck in so long, and I know I forgot to do these type of things. So welcome to the trolley session, where Ghost Streaks get to take over the show while you get to just troll your opponent to death. Now, Ghost Streaks are very, very, very trolly. Now I should have played this deck for April Fool's, but you know how it is. It's like Halloween when you get to the holidays, you're like, damn, I should have wore this outfit instead of the other one. I mean, like put it like this. I had an afro for Halloween. I'm just like, man, I'm gonna be straight. I have an afro, but you know what I decided? I decided to be a ninja. I'm just like, an afro ninja ain't better than an afro samurai. You know what I mean? I love afro samurai. Afro samurai was pretty dope back in the day. Shout out to Samuel Jackson, because motherfucker, you gotta love it. He says it better than any other person. And my opponent is playing Neil Spacer. Now, Neil Spacer is really low tier, but this deck is really good. The deck has a lot of good support, but it takes a while for the deck to go off like it's supposed to be. So, knowing me playing Ghost Streaks, I like to, not even like to. A Ghost Streak player is one condition. One is to make sure all my opponent's monsters is face down and lock him out of the duel. Second one condition, Ghost Streak Skeleton. He says that he banners cards from the deck face down. If he bans your opponent's entire deck, you generally would win too as well. Third in this deck is to get a Robin Garment off and Robin Garment my opponent's hand away completely. Now, since Ghost Streaks was always in the making, but I just never just shown it out like that. So I felt like I needed to show the deck off again before I get into like the serious match, because I understand on a competitive level I'm supposed to make sure all my competitive players get the natural the natural feel of the competitive decks, but at the same time I want to make sure that my casual players also get the fun side too as well. In Ghost Streaks, it is just very trolly. Look at this girl. She's just like, hey, so face down, ass up. So that's what you really would do. If you're playing Ghost Streaks and you're booking a move your opponent's monster. Oh god, I'm sick. You would just generally would say, read a book. Put the monster face down, like, oh, read a book. And then that's how you usually would, do your opponent. So, since this is gonna be a long game, I might as well talk about a few things too while I'm at it. Back to the Sylvan thing. Now, Sylvans on a competitive level would be generally good. Sylvans, I would say their best matchup would be, I would say Burn Abyss, and you guys will probably be looking at me stupid or crazy because Burn Abyss do have curse card, but Sylvans they do have soul shards to counter that. But the reason why I say Burn Abyss is because of the fact that they have Rose Archer. Rose Archer is an amazing card, very underrated. Not even underrated, but it's probably main deck in a lot of other decks. You wanna play Rose Archer so that you avoid those powerful one-ups. Like holy hell, like this form is freaking dangerous. Like it's like a battlefield over here. Like you got dark decks, rising up again, and when you got dark decks rising up again, you have to be very, very cautious. Very cautious. And then I would say Sylvan's one of their worst matchups. It could possibly be in the class because of the fact that when you do your Sylvan combos and you don't lock down your opponent, good enough, you can be shut down by a Trishula. But if you make a Felgrant, you escape that route instantly. But that doesn't mean that you be the greatest all the time. Now you guys are probably wondering why am I playing Ghost Trips again? Well, I mean when you see a deck called AKA Cleafords get nerfed, why would you not play Ghost Trips? Because that was one of the things what stopped the deck from being played in the first place. Because when you have decks that's like unaffected by monster effects, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna play a tournament. Oh, I run the Cleafords. Well, I automatically lose. You cry. Just like ninjas. Ninjas they can't play super transformation ninjutsu art because of the fact that Cleafords, and not even Cleafords, pendulums exist. Because when you go Hanzo send like a big ass Cleafort monster to the graveyard, well, to the extra deck, it only counts for a level 4, which is kind of silly, I feel that if pendulums come out, at least errata some of these card effects so these card effects can work against pendulums, because honestly it's kind of silly that if a card says it should go to the graveyard, then take its ass to the graveyard. So it's kind of weird to me, but I just generally feel that ninjas, I'm not gonna say they need more support, but they need some erratas. Because ninjas are really good. I mean, yeah, they're very trap heavy. I mean, look at Satella Knights. I hate Satella Knights. I hate your Sanjutsu. They put like 20 traps, and you're like, yeah, I'm the best person in the world. But if you see a deck like Jinzo, you will call someone a scrub. That double standard, if you know what I mean. So this is generally the feel that you want to have as a Yoshi player, is to lock down your opponent. Even though I got hit by Regeki, I wasn't really afraid of that. So and plus you have Yoshi break, so that's also a really good card too. So like, comment, subscribe. I understand that was a really long duel, but hey, that's Yoshi.